Why do questions come to our mind in the middle of the night? Hello and welcome all, hope you're all doing well. What was the first brick factory called? And what came first, the egg or the chicken? And how did the first man who invented a watch set it to be the correct time? OMG, it appears that it will be a sleepless night. Why do we call someone who acts an actor, but we call someone who cuts others' hair a barber? And who cut the first barber's hair? What is the pizza flavour in the potato chips with pizza taste? Why doesn't the cow drink its milk? And why do all good things not last as long? All of those questions usually arise while you are lying in bed at midnight, while dozens of questions like the ones we've mentioned a moment ago flood your mind when you go to bed, which makes falling asleep a hard task. But the real question to this matter is, why do such thoughts arise more frequently at night? Why don't we think like this in the morning, for example, or any other time of the day? Is there a link between midnight overthinking and this particular type of question? Or is it all a simple coincidence? Hello, my name is Steve. In this episode of Midnight Questions, we will answer the question, why do questions come to mind in the middle of the night? However, before we begin, if you are new to the channel, please subscribe and hit the bell button to receive all of our new videos. Overthinking causes many people to have difficulty sleeping through the night. Therefore, they'll start thinking about various feelings and situations that happen to them during the day, or things that they want to do tomorrow, or even in the next 60 years. Many existential questions may arise for you in bed while you're trying to catch sleep. Thus, some people experience stress and anxiety because of this, and they wake up tired and uncomfortable the next day. But why is this all happening? Why does the overthinking person reach his or her most active status in the middle of the night? If you think this is all a coincidence, let me tell you that there are several explanations for why this is happening. The most important of these is quietness. It is one of the factors that contribute to increased nighttime thinking, because this is the ideal time for excessive thinking, especially because there are no other influences or distractions such as light, noise, television, mobile phones, and other things that we're used to throughout the day. It is just like the well-known phenomenon of the amazing ability to think when one is in the happiest place, the toilet. Such people might say, I don't get ideas outside the box until I'm in the bathroom. And despite what it looks like at first, none of this is stupid, because it is entirely possible and lots of people do it. In other words, a toilet is a calm environment that prompts us to think and retrieve information. Because of this calmness, your mind recalls all the thoughts that you ignored throughout the day, and such problems in your life or things that have caused you anxiety for days. Or the person who irritated you with some comment, but you didn't have a response for him or her. Now you've thought of an answer, but it's too late right now. All of this comes at you at night, especially because of the peace, and it may get worse if you don't want to sleep, or if you need to sleep for a job interview or something, rather than because you're so tired or you can't even open your eyes. In this case, you're already trapped. Because you want to sleep but aren't tired, your thoughts will stay with you until they exhaust you, and whatever solution you try in this case, such as turning off the lights, covering yourself thoroughly, or warming yourself up, bringing a pen and paper to write something or anything. All of this is pointless because the mind has already made its decision, which means there will be no sleep for tonight. Pattern recognition is another explanation for this strange phenomenon. In a nutshell, this means that the resting brain is relaxed enough to form a new neural pathway responsible for connecting ideas. This makes such a moment the ideal time to consider creative solutions to various problems and pay attention to the details you overlooked previously. Furthermore, sleep is time when the mind processes all the information accumulated during the day and the days that have passed to be able to organise and coordinate them. Thus, the brain synthesizes the new neural pathways and connects information during the night, in addition to brain cells that are previously unconnected. All of this enables more creative thinking. In this regard, one of the college medicine professors of neuroscience and cognitive sciences at Johns Hopkins University used to say that we are initially aware of only a small portion of our thoughts, so the majority of these thoughts enter the subconscious and usually come to life before bedtime. The random thoughts that pop into your head throughout the day are completely unrelated, but it all comes to a halt when you allow your mind to wander freely in the subconscious. And this is known as mind wandering, and it's when you may have an idea for a long time but you can't think about it or even notice it. However, when the right moment arrives, such thoughts float to the surface. That is why it's natural to have a lot of thoughts when you lay your head down to sleep. But what if one wants to stop thinking at night and sleep so they can wake up early the next day? Why does excessive thinking at this time never stop? The truth is that several solutions can be used in this situation. However, it is important to remember that such activities as listening to the radio, using the phone, and writing are completely useless. Things like this usually backfire, and instead of using the bed as your sleeping place, it'll become like if you're in the living room. So what solutions can we devise to convince our brain that we are in bed and want to sleep rather than study for a doctorate? To begin, do not go to bed after having consumed coffee or anything else containing caffeine. You won't sleep that way, and you'll start thinking, just thinking and thinking again. The same is true eating until you are full before going to bed, because you will not sleep with your stomach full to the brim. As a result, make sure you go to bed without eating much before that, and without caffeine too, of course. After that, you must decide what time you want to sleep, and you should go to bed about an hour before this time. Therefore, if you cannot control excessive thinking to fall asleep, you may take advantage of this hour so that your normal sleep schedule won't get affected. In other words, if you're accustomed to going to bed at midnight, it is preferable to sleep at 11. This will give you an hour to think about anything before falling asleep, though let it be like a golden hour. It will be a haven for you to think about whatever is on your mind, whether it is a vacation or trip, or the great speech you want to give to a large audience that will clap their hands so hard for you, and you will receive an award at the end because you are such a wonderful person. If you achieve all your goals in such a way, I recommend that you go to bed because you have work waiting for you in the morning. However, if you still can't sleep despite all that we've said so far, let's give it another try. One of the most effective ways to overcome difficulty falling asleep is to perform a ritual right before bed, and make it simple. We're talking just like what you do to put babies to bed when you want them to sleep. For example, you may become accustomed to taking a warm bath before you go to bed, or you can read something while arranging your thoughts in bed, like reading one of the world literature novels that takes a month or so to read and comprehend. If you're used to doing things like this, you'll notice that your brain sends signals to your body to fall asleep as soon as you do any of these habits. Aside from that, it is possible to practice deep breathing, in which we use the abdomen rather than the chest to breathe more effectively. All of these factors will contribute to a restful and comfortable night's sleep. In the end, as a final suggestion, sometimes waking up for a few minutes and falling back asleep is an excellent way to stop thinking. So while you are tossing and turning in bed, putting a pillow on your head and being unable to predict your thoughts, it is possible to get out of bed, drink a glass of water, and then return to bed. As a result, you will discover that your sleeping is easier than ever. If you've done all this and haven't slept yet, and you're still thinking about existential issues, you can speak to yourself aloud and say things like, okay, it's time to sleep now, good night. I don't need any solutions right now, I just need to forget about everything because I want to sleep. Go to bed now and I'll do everything I can tomorrow. Even if these methods did not work, try to understand that thoughts before bedtime can play a significant role in promoting restful sleep. Also, eliminate negative thoughts and fantasies. And that's it, guys. We've reached the end of this episode, and we've answered the question, why do we have thoughts in the middle of the night? For those who are new to the channel, we specialise in answering questions that may arise while lying in bed in the middle of the night without falling asleep. As always, if you have a question in the middle of the night that is causing you confusion, please leave it in the comments section so that we can answer it. If you enjoy the video, please like and share it, and for those of you who are seeing us for the first time, don't forget to subscribe and press the bell button to receive notifications of new videos.